今天有这个机会办这样的一个活动，好像那图书馆这个新院方的知识吧也配合了这样的一个活动，有办图文小说的书展。好，那如果说今天大家在这样的吴老师的带领下，觉得这个是很有意思的议题，那也欢迎大家在这个听完今天吴老师的这个讲演之后，多多利用新院方的这个知识吧，好来体会一下不同的这一个主题的图文小说。OK， 那我想不耽误大家的时间，我们现在用热烈掌声欢迎吴老师。
Today is a very special occasion because I've never dreamed that we would possibly be able to get together here and have the opportunity to go through graphic novels, or more contemporarily speaking, a lot of the novels that we have out there tends to be like in 2000, after 2000, year 2000. So most of it is more like autobiographical. And so now we tend to call them graphic narratives. 那所以在1980年之前比较多是以图文小说的方式出现。那在美国，在1980之后，比较多是一种比较自传体的，或者是青少年成长的这样的一个主题哦。所以今天恐怕大家要在这两个东西中间做转换。We need to shift it in between two genres, graphic novels and graphic narratives. 那这个上面这个5550414092这个大家猜是什么？ I'm going to conduct this talk in half Chinese and half English, and when I see necessary, I'll shift it into Chinese or English as I see fit. And if you have any questions, please do raise your hand or do anything to stop me. I'll slow down and do whatever.
Can I ask the first question?
Yes.
Okay, the number please in Chinese or English?
The numbers in Chinese.
So it would be me, 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 wo, wo, wo.
Yes.
Okay, so follow up.
Thank you.
Continue, sure. Okay.
There's no one. Type 11 folder.
You? No, zero. Yeah, you are young. You're supposed to be creative, right?
It's okay. We can take your time and think about it throughout the talk. Actually, I did not invent this. Since we are talking about how this genre is a combination of fantasy and surrealism, I think I have been inspired by many great novelists and great animation illustrators and filmmakers. And so it's actually a kind of half advertisement for the upcoming graphic novel that's going to be a story by Mamoru Oshii. 这是押井守在明年最新的要出版的这个图文小说，叫 Serafine 26666133336 Twins graphic novel。那押井守大家熟吗？哦，不熟对不对 ？Mamoru Oshii 你们不太知道。He's a very renowned novelist, comic strip artist, cartoonist, filmmakers, and so on and so forth. And this very special one is going to be about Angel's Play. Very much unlike his previous work, which is called, probably you know about it, 福音战士。有人听过？还有 Ghost in the Shell。 攻壳特工队，还有第二集叫做 Innocence 剧场版，然后再来就是 Skydiver。And this is a series of very bizarre, robotic stories about human future. And it's a series of very different kinds of apocalyptic visions. 就是它有一种现代启示录的未来的感受。那其实整个今天的演讲是在这样的氛围下被启动出来。我想大家看一下好不好 ？Can we take a look at this film that he made？ 这是很震撼的一部电影，因为在这部电影，其实事实上是一个 小说先刚开始，是一个图文小说，像漫画一样的连续续集。出现之后呢，这个欧琴手啊，就是押井守老师呢，就是马波鲁有喜先生把它拍成那个电影。结果之后这个 idea 呢，甚至影响到了拍 Matrix 的导演，还有整个美国的电影界，所以后来才会出现一大堆的这一些外星人啦、然后异形变种这样的一个电影。那我们来看一下。I do not want to frighten you, but the content is likely retaining violence and transformations of human bodies and so on and so forth. So if you got, it is at your discretion. If you feel frightened, then you could close your eyes. It's a story being created aimed at future on Earth in an Asian city, and you can see everything's being under surveillance. There are monitors everywhere. Most people around you are not necessarily human. The idea is there is a supercomputer kind of database. Everyone has the power to chip into the matrix. So you would be able to access any information that you want. And most people, except their brain, are revolutionized robotic prosthesis bodies. 所以大部分的人的全身都已经被改造过了，义肢，不同的这个连接，全身都已经不一样。除非你想要换，你连大脑都可以换，那样的一个世界。 the story starting from here. It's a fugitive. 这是逃犯，这个 robot 逃掉了，然后警察会把他追回来。那故事就从这里开始，已经回不去那个绝对天真的地方，然后科学已经进展到你没有办法想象的地步的未来。那在这个 graphic novels 或 graphic narratives 里面，你看那个地球的转变跟改造，地球跟所有其他星球的那个连接。It's more than interstellar connections. Everything's being digitalized. Everything's being sort of transparent. 是一个绝对透明的世界。And the most marvelous part is how the director here is showing us the birth of, I wouldn't want to call it human body or robotic body, but it's more like a agent. 就是你已经不再有人机的问题，你现在变成一个介体或是机体这样的东西。Of course, resembling the cell splits while human bodies grows, right? But then here is like non-organic beings or non-organic robotic agents split it into multiples. 所以那个从鸡变无数的机体，然后它的那个出生的那个概念，它的那个 formations of a fantastic agent 是这样子。Blossoming, the flora blossoms in the world is the prayer or the celebrated calls for God. 这里根本没有 God， 是一个 irony。In the eyes of the girl, it's all digital. I'll stop here. So this is written and directed by Mamoru Oshii. And that's how I got inspired from this point onward to think about this upcoming graphic novels, and then come up with that, you know, 04141409. Let's slow down and think about this. Springing on from that point onward, 我就开始在想说，到底这样子的一种科技的发展会把我们带到什么地方来？那这个图文小说，我发现一件很有趣的事情，尤其是英美的图文小说跟日本的不太一样，已经推及到一个几乎是起点，一个非常奇怪的一个奇怪也不奇怪了，已经没有任何东西会是奇怪的地方。那样子一个外围哈，我们说 outside 在文学理论里面哈，那但是在这里面，我就想要回来谈的是 ，then what about human being, human emotions, human melancholia, and so on and so forth？ 我们怎么回到，就是说我们在看书的时候，我们可以感受到那个情绪这个问题。那所以我就想跟大家玩一个这个游戏 ，I would like to play a game with everybody. This this is a quote that is a very renowned one that started a novel.
I know this one.
Yes. And this novel is about human emotions and sentimental feedbacks in between relationships. 所以我从那个最外围的那个高科技，我想要回到图文小说里面的人的各种情绪，然后我就觉得，我想从这里开始。Anyone? Pride and Prejudice, thank you. 就是这个Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice。那，我有做一个特效，我来做一下。Yes. So you see that in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice《傲慢与偏见》里面，那故事还没开始，作者就开始用一种比较嘲讽的语气说 ：“It is the truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife。”那那个夫妇结合，然后是生命的开始，家庭的开始，从这里开始。那但是如果只有这个 ，if we started out from this narrative or this line of sentences, then for me, it seems to be that it's only a line of sentences. That's all, right? Words. But then with graphic novels, I find it more exciting is that it's possible we could have a poster like this that entails all kinds of possibilities, all kinds of impossibilities that's been included, such as you have to engage your fantasy. And in Greek, fantasy refers to appearance, phantom, mental process, or perceptions, and especially that word, imagination, right? Sometimes when we have certain kind of prejudice or we are being very proud, we're actually being imaginatively thinking of something or thinking of someone as if that person is someone else. 有那个幻想的成分在里面。那 surrealism 在我今天的这个讨论里面呢，当然比较少出现，但是这个所谓超写实，就是说幻想这个东西在图文小说里面，我觉得很有趣的地方是，它是超越写实的，它会做出一些比较不一样的一种所谓的心理层次的一个探索。那所以从字源上面来看，这是从法文出现的那这样的一个 literary movement starting in the 1920s and that draws upon some of the concept that addresses the importance of psychological developments in a Freudian concept。所以我觉得这个两个东西放在图文小说这次，因为副馆长在这里那你等一下冲出去看的时候，你会发现一件事。It's like it's totally not like what you fantasize, and totally not what you think it's for teenagers. Some of the contents are a lot of time quite surreal. Surreal in terms of how it is based on reality, but also creating a momentum that past, present, and future are compressed in one frame. And so that kind of framing pushes the reality into its extreme. And then when you read those languages, you'll find that most of the language are quite vulgar. 所以会去读到我们今天，如果你等一下出去看这个图文小说，老师选的时候绝对不是用这个刚刚这个 innocence 就是刚出生的这个 baby 这个心去找出来的。其实我们接下来要看到的这些书，很多都是这个非常可怕的 language， 或者是非常可怕的心理的扭曲，或者是非常在反映现实当中我们不敢想，我们不敢做，可是我们很想做的东西。那是什么 ？Guys, is there something that you have been fantasized that you really want to do, but you cannot do? For example, physical contact with someone that is forbidden to touch。比如说想跟金城武来一下，好，这样的东西哦。好 ，OK， 好，谢谢。那I want to address a little bit about why I started this. It's not because I want to go with Jin Chen-Wu for somewhere. It's because this two years back I was in England for research, and then outside of the British Library, I bumped into a very special library, and this library allows me to see what we have seen today outside there. And so I decided that maybe it's about time that aside from 你们知道这一片吗？这片大家有没有看过 ？Wonderful Days. Because I'm Asian, I'm from Taiwan, so most of the informations that I receive are either from Japanese manga or Korean animations. 那这个是韩国自己制作、自己拍的一个非常成功的，也是有关这个现代启示一类的这种后人类想象的一种战争的一个 fantasy 哈、那这非常成功 ，Wonderful Days。如果大家有空可以上网看一下哈、那我就觉得，除了这个亚洲式的这样的一种身体，还有这种图文的表现之外，那这一些在英美这边跑出来，这边也很有趣。It seems like there are all kinds of variations, and so I decided， 大部分我看到的亚洲的都是像这样子比较多，对不对？哦，我们看到的那种，比如说 Attack 晋级的巨人 ，Attack on Titan 也是这样，好像 One Piece 有没有？也是那样。那可是你看这一边，我们这一次展览的这里几乎都有，好像有很多不同的这个 genres。那所以我就觉得，很有趣，我们中心应该要有这样的一个东西。比如说我到了 Portugal 去开会的时候，发现，去旅行的时候，发现，到处都有 graffitis。When I was in Germany too, everywhere I go, there are sort of this kind of graffitis that encourage people to engage themselves with the kind of fantastic genres，然后也很有趣。那像这个是在搜狗附近，台湾也有。We are surrounded by graphic illustrations and visual design。这是我们动漫社中心动漫社的这个社徽，就是 giraffe，就是长颈鹿，这是社长做的。那这也是在这个台南，如果大家去看一下台南盐田旁边，盐田文化区附近又有人画这样的一个画。What I'm saying is that here， 你们有没有注意到这个？我把它标出来，就是色戒啊，各位，这边看起来都无害，对不对？可是，在很多的 visual design 里面，我们会看到这个 One Piece， 这个是在台中，大家去过了吗？We are surrounded by all kinds of these narratives and graphic comics。我希望你们有空可以看一看。也就是说，好像我刚在做那个拉队表演，其实做一个程度的这个是 Oliver 同意我可以放上去的，我觉得这个 cosplay， 也就是说在日文里面这个 costume play 这个东西，costume play 这个东西呢，其实我们每天都在接触，每天都在扮演。然后呢，其实，在1984年的时候，在洛杉矶举行的这个科幻年会，就以这个 cosplay 来表示说，它是一种 role play 这样的东西。那其实事实上，现在我们每一天都在接触这一些东西。Then I would like to start with the themeless book that we have in our library today, which is this one called The Lighter Side of Educational Leadership, which is what we call professional term.Gag cartoon，gag cartoon 的意思就是说，它只有 one piece， and on top of it there is a illustration, of course, and then there's usually on top or below the graph there is a line or one sentence or a conversation that entails what's going on in this chart. So that's called gag cartoon. In here you'll see a very thin one.And each page somehow provided a kind of hilarious, satirical kind of jokingly bantering. 所以有很多那种互相打闹的啦，互相讽刺的啦，像这里有没有？他说 shui consultant advises one student desk per classroom 他说，哎，这两个老师在那，这个 principal 在那边跟老师唱三小，然后结果参选完之后就说，好了，风水师说呢，我们现在每一间教室就摆一张那个学生的那个 desk 就好了，因为大家不能挤在一起。那这是很讽刺的一个有一点 educational leadership is not functioning, is malfunctioning, and now people are listening to 风水 consultants。这其实是充满讽刺的。那所以我觉得其实会来看图文小说的人，或是图文叙事的人，他其实 intellectually needs to be seriously and highly intensely engaged. Otherwise, you will miss out the point. 所以我觉得这个图文小说比我们一般看小说没有图案的时候，其实更高度的需要你的这个注意力跟专心，因为很多时候它的这个时空是全部结合在一起，然后它的这个幽默 humors 有一点不太能够很快的被你找到，然后还有就是你必须要跟时事，you have to combine things with local and local information or political contents，所以这是比较困难的地方。但是我觉得这一本里面有很多有趣的东西，大家有空可以看一下。那since we're talking about graphic novels or graphic narratives, I would like to go through slightly very short, brief historical retrospection. This is from Robert Harvey's book, a short essays on describing and discarding comics as an impotent act of philosophical rigor. In other words, he believes that comics can be a tool that you could engage with your philosophical rigor. 很多人都会觉得说看漫画就是一种不入流的次文化的不需要太认真的那样子的一个文类，可是其实并不是的。对于很多在从事这个方面的这个发展的艺术家来讲，他们觉得其实它是可以从事更深入的一种哲学辩证因为我们现在刚刚大家看到的是一个 film， 对不对 ？film 它已经帮你 set up sound, set up all kinds of surrounding atmospheres. But in a graphic novel, you have to imagine, exactly who is speaking and what's going on, what kind of noises or what kind of sound might be coming out next. 所以你有时候必须要不断的介入，你自己的大脑也不断的要参与，否则的话你就会 missing out the point。那所以对这个 Robert 他在谈这个历史的时候，他有谈到说 ，in 1894第一个这个所谓的 comics 跑出来，就是这个 New York World。那时候 New York World 是用这种这是 newspaper。那为了要提高它的这个 promoting its sales, so they added a Sunday supplement and dubbed it comic weeklies. 所以每个礼拜他们就加入一点。这个竟然在1894年，也就是 the end of 19th century, intrigue people's interest to read more newspaper. 然后在这个那个时候有，比如说这几个美指引，大家应该现在都还是可以看得到。Life, Pop and Judge 大家已经看不到 ，Life 那时候还是一个比较薄的 magazine， 在19世纪末的时候，那他们都是比较幽默的，所以他们希望能够用 illustrations, comics to attract their readers。一直发展从 comic 一格一格，刚刚看到那个 gag cartoon 到2-3格，到一串 comic strips， 然后一直到一整版。发展到这个地方 1930s comic strips， begin to be reprinted。那所以你看，其实也经过了很长的，将近30几年的30 years some years 那当然到现在我们叫做 graphic novels 的意思，就是说这整本的叙事都是在用 comics strip 的方式，可是它不再是一个 strip， 它是整本都是。那这个我觉得很有趣。这本书it's a very, I think it's fun that it's a whole book compiled with all kinds of infographic。现在很流行，我想图书馆这边应该都知道，就是说现在图表很重要。那这整本书都在谈这个 how to read comic books you know, from Japanese's point of view, because we, you know, like Asians, we write from right to left, so we read like that. And English, we read from left to right. So when you go out, I would like you to really demonstrate it, or maybe give it a try to see if it does really work like this. 好，等一下你出去看的时候，看是不是真的这样？有没有哪一个英美图文小说，它其实是走日本风格，是这样？好，从右到左，好，或者是从上这样曲折下来，还是这样乱走？图片会不会是骗人的？好，大家想一下。那there are some very important thing I think we need to know, which is the definition of comics. Here, Scott McClough, if you are really into the studies, I think Scott's book is probably one that you really, it's a must read. He mentions that he defined comics as juxtaposed pictorial and other images in deliberate sequence, intended to convey information and produce an aesthetic response in the viewer. 那我画的这两个地方，就是说我觉得，它有点出重点，也就是说，你要注意看它的 sequences。之所以叫做 narratives， 意思就是它是一个叙事。所以这个叙事里面，它的这个经过、这个脉络、这个情节是很重要的。那它是不是会给观众一种所谓的美学上的一种回馈 （aesthetic response）， 或者是你会觉得 grotesque？ There are so many books out there. When you read it, you started being very judgmental. 你等一下出去看，你可能会觉得，天啊，这能看吗？怎么会画成这样？怎么那么丑？或怎么那么美之类的哈？那你就会开始有所谓的 beauty and ugliness debates engaged。这是我觉得这次希望大家这个书展的时候可以不断的去思考这个问题。For you, what would you consider as a beautiful or as a ugly standard? I think that's also something that I wish our school, our students would have in mind. Another definition from Bhaskar Leverbeer and Charles Dirac, they are the editors of a collection of essays on comics entitled Forging a New Medium. 那这个 forge 这个动词大家都知道，就是有去把它敲出来的感觉，有去把它这样延展出来的感觉。那所以其实当时大家还是到目前为止，我想大部分的人如果在家里，对我老师来说 ，when I was like 7, 6, I had to hide myself in my quill and then read comic books because my dad and my mom would really scold at me and said, "You are not supposed to do this." 即便是小叮当，到现在我都记得，我看小叮当是会头晕的。为什么？因为哆啦 A 梦我不能在家里看，所以我坐公车去学校的时候，在公车上看。所以那是一种 taboo。那可是对这个 Bhaskar 跟 Charles 来讲呢，他们觉得这个 comics 的意思是这个 the juxtaposition 就是交错的位置。那所以他说，他认为是把它找出来，什么东西找出来呢 ？A fixed pictures on a support as a communicative act。也就是说，他说他并不是一个只是画画，然后只是一个什么图案而已，而是他让一个 support， 所谓的一个界面上面有一个沟通的动作产生，而且把这个东西用图案做成一种交错的一个位置。那也就是说，各位这样想之后 ，When I saw this definition, I was really exciting. Guess why? Ask me why.
Why?
Thank you. Thank you. I feel loved. Support here, what would you explain it in Chinese? 支持不是很怪吗？它这个 support 指的是什么 ？A pictures on a support. 在这里可不可以？这个 folder 上 ，OK, right? It's functional. It becomes a folder. 如果在一个 shirt 上面行不行？像这个，我们今天有谁上面？像这位同学，这个上面画的这个图案，然后也是一个 support。 也就是说，只要是一个纸 ，a paper can be a support，a shirt can be a support，anything, any surface that would support these pictures。所以这个 support 在这里是很有趣的，就是说，你看在这个海报上面，这样也是一个 supporting the pictures to be juxtaposed and communicating all the informations to its readers。那这样子之后，原来这种沟通在做的时候，这个 Thierry Gronstein 这个学者他就说，也是在刚刚那一本《Forging the Medium》这一本书里面，他就提到他又加入另外一个东西 ，he added something over here, a visual narrative, a story conveyed by sequences of graphic fixed images together on a single support。所以它不只是一个 communicative art， 而是加上了一种所谓的视觉性的叙事。那这个视觉性的叙事会让你怎么样呢 ？Adding that the concept of sequence in presentia， 我想这是一个专有名词，大家可以学起来。以后你去跟人家讲话的时候，就可以说 ，Wow, in this book, or in this graphic narratives, the presentia, well, is somehow a little bit messy。那这个 presentia 就是我们看到那个在图文小说里面的一格一格一格一格一格那个 multiplicator or multi-frames， 它就是有多元的、多样的、不同的每一个框镜框这种镜框式的这种视觉的叙事。那所以说就不在各位 ，guys, when we read our, because you are from my freshman year English, when we read our Norton readers, those are but words. So you need to follow a linear ways of movements, right? Everything that you think goes like this, or either like that in Chinese, right? Like that in English, like this in Arabic, like this in Korean, like this in Korean, whichever languages that you're using. In Taiwanese, we don't even have a movement because we don't have written forms. 所以台语是没有一个 movement 的，你必须要自己产生一个强大的这个 frame， 不然的话那个 frame 就是空的。所以这个那样子的只有声音的语言是蛮困难的。可是你看，当我们有这三个的时候，这三个他们是从不同地方找出来。可是就算是这样，他们也各自产生了一些讯息。好，那另外呢，再强化，这样还是不够啊。This is not good enough. David Kuzo， 这是从这样子的一个美国跟这个法国跟英国这样子的一个滚动下来找到了。David Kuzo 他说 ，One of the pioneer scholars in the field adds in the first volume of this massive history of the comic strip. I hope that you have the chance to read this book. History of the comic strip. He mentions that the requirements that there be a preponderance of image over text, and that the medium be a mass medium. 所以他又加入了另外一个东西，就是说不能只有你看，而是一个 mass medium。那这个 mass medium 到现在发展就变成一个 film 或一个 animation。那之前可能是书，或者是各式各样的这个可能。那各位，我要讲一下这个。In our book exhibition, you'll see that there is all kinds of superheroes versus villain kind of graphic novels. How many of you have seen Superman, the movie, or the comics? 有，对不对？那 how many of you have seen？ 我来看一下，这是属于两个部分的也就是说，我没有坐在这个 PowerPoint 里面，是因为我希望你们自己去搞懂这个。At that time, guys, DC Comics is the greatest rival of Marvel. Thank you. But before Marvel becomes Marvels, they're called magazine management company. They don't belong to the same managers. This magazine management company find that Marvel is in dire situation and they are gonna go bankrupted and there is no sale. And so they decided to talk to Marvel's manager Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee heard, is there a Jack here? Okay. Heard that DC Comics come up with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, the so-called the Justice League of America. 那这个美国的正义联盟这一区一旦被叫出来之后，这个 DC Comics 就红了，好赚很多钱。那 Martin Goodman 这时候就跟这个 Jack Kirby 他们联手，所以才创造了这个 Fantastic Four， 还有 Spider-Man， 还有 Incredible Hulk， 浩克，有没有？还有 Thor， 雷神索尔，所以雷神索尔是绝对不会跟 Superman 站在一起的，那就怪怪的，因为这是两家，大家要记得他们是分开 ，Iron Man 还有 Doctor Strange。所以你看这个 chart 上面就有给我们一个很有趣的一个 politics， 也就是说我们在看图文小说的时候 ，we are not simply reading graphic comics. We are actually making a very important judgments on the politics of good and evil. 这有点难呢，各位，因为你会发现，如果仔细看，这里做的太小哈，没办法哈。结果我们发现这个，我看。索尔是比较 conservative， 是吗？我觉得是它有这个很有趣的 chart， 然后呢，这个 Captain American， 比起 Thorn 来讲是更没有那么 liberal，so there is a kind of politics that's being engaged over there. Now， 来考大家一下，刚刚说那个 gag cartoon。就是怎么样 ？Single panel with the tight letters。休息一下，复习一下。那我们在看 comic strips 的时候，英美的 comic strips 有一个问题 ，is that you need to pay attention to how the narratives breaks down into different sequences。有时候它会这样跑，有时候它会这样跑，有时候它会乱跑，会插入很多东西。And also another thing I would like you to pay attention when you read is the speech balloons. For example, here, the Noah of Brown is a story about a girl named Noah Brown, or Noah of the Brown, and she is suffering from OCD, which is called the obsessive compulsive disorder. 也就是我们中文说强迫症。那老师看这本书的时候，其实一直在想，为什么这个女生她会有这个问题？她发生了什么事情？她生命里有什么经过？为什么她会有这样子的？她的强迫症不是那种每天要去把手洗得很干净那种强迫症。你们自己看的时候就会发现它很有趣。那这本书你看在看的时候，I really have to be very quick, otherwise I'll go crazy. Because when I read this, it's like this, right? And what do you expect? You turn around and it goes like that. So the narrative breakdowns really is gonna get you break down. 真的，你真的会崩溃，因为你已经习惯这样的一个叙事了，对不对？然后这边有很多 speech bubbles， 这些我们叫 speech bubbles。那这些 speech bubbles。没想到下一页还好，没怎么样。结果没想到下一页，the colors totally changed. So you have to really constantly change your mindset in order to get used to this all kinds of different variations of narrative breakdowns. And what's important is that speech bubble balloon thing. I'm sorry. Speech, I sometimes call it speech bubble or speech balloon. Speech bubbles 在这个里面，我们看一下这个 manual， 我们图书馆也有的。我们看到不同的这个 Superman manual, how to break through a door. Told you that. Do you know how to break through a door? Just kidding. 但是他既然说 step 1, 2, 3， 所以这本我看了很久，我们就学了老半天。还有我要看这边就是在1840年。我想提醒大家，刚刚谈都是美国的， 他在1840年在伦敦，there is a very special peculiar development， 就是这个我们所谓说的 cartoon， 那 usually we think cartoon is but what we have seen like Mickey Mouse or so on and so forth, Minnie, all these people. But no, in 1940s, the first modern usage of cartoon started in London, and it's a kind of a magazine, very thin magazine called Punch. 大家可以上网看一下之前那个 Punch 它的这个版本哈。那个时候呢，在1840年呢，就是因为这个国会呢，一场大火烧掉，那重建，然后这时候就，你看像我们的歌剧院一样，要办一个活动来庆祝。当时办的活动就是这个，competitive exhibition display the cartoon。那所以当时呢，大家知道 cartoon 这个字是从什么文来的？其实是意大利人来的，叫做 cartone。那这个 cartone 这个字呢，意思就是当时那个意大利不是有那个湿壁画吗？那就是 fresco。那湿壁画的师傅要上去修补，或者是上去画的时候，他不是这样拿笔就直接上去画，他必须要在板上面 carbon 那个 cardboard 上面先把它画出来，画好之后呢，再上去照那个模。所以是从那个地方来的。所以当时呢，这个第一个 the first cartoon in UK was published in 1843 July 15 on Punch。那这个继续看我们刚刚那个 Superman 你就会回来看说，它有很多不同的 villains。这是我希望你们去看的，就是这个正邪之间不两立的这种 graphic novels 里面，它在显示出这个东西。那我们说坏人有很多种，你看有这种 parasite， 有 doomsday， 有 bizarres， 有 general thoughts。这我希望大家可以去看一下它的那个分类，这一些都是各种各样的 fantasized villains， 都是各种各样幻想出来的这个怪兽啦，或者是恶人。那another kind of genre I would like to move on to， 有点多我们这次总共有40多本，那其中 a lot of it is about traveling。那这个很有名的法国的插画家 Guy Delisle， 他当时画的时候没有想到，他会被翻译成20、30种不同的语言，然后出版。那这个是3本在美国出版的，就是深圳 Burma， 缅甸Burma Chronicles and 平壤，那这个就是北韩嘛，那他就把他自己亲身去深圳 Burma and Pyongyang's experience 都画出来。那 guys, we would definitely maybe one day with opportunities we will travel to all these places, but then this is more like personal experiences telling us what had happened。这是他第一天到深圳，然后被关在饭店里面，不能做任何事情。你看他的这个 narrative breakdown， 这里是几格？10 box， and here 又变成8。他的也就是说，他的思索，各位这个 narrative space 有一个比较特殊的情况，就是 time is space。所以这个 space 的延展其实就是时间的一个 passing or staying。那你看，所以其实他在告诉我们说，他在刚进去的时候，时间越来很久，然后在这里的时候，你看这一格又变大，那你看这是他后来做的一个笔记，在这里很细致的。然后那当时你知道深圳 ，even if you go to Shenzhen now, it's all like building hierarchy, skyscrapers, all those things。他也把它整个描绘出来。那 那我觉得很深刻的是这个 ，he actually provided all kinds of analysis about local politics and geographical informations。所以你会看到里面的这个他跟当地人的交往，还有他去那里之后发现有一些奇怪的这个建筑物的这样子的一个东西 ，he was not sure what's going on。然后到了这个，到后来你看他的这个另外一个我想要介绍的这样的一个 Charles Burns Black Hole。I didn't finish this book. I was trying to, but then for a couple of minutes I closed it. I wasn't able to read because it's really like a black hole that sucked me in. I was kind of frightened. 那这个 Charles Burns 很会画人像。He started out as a portrait painter. 你看他画的这里面的角色，可是故事从这里开始。There is a monstrous being that's in this world. 然后 there are people trying to stay but could not. 然后后来大家开始 going through a kind of metamorphosis, transformations. 所以它很 graphic. 它不只是图文而已，它是真的非常的各种各样的变形，就开始产生。Another thing about traveling is that sometimes we imagine we travel to places that please us, that we enjoy going around, having time, we entertain ourselves and so on. 这个André Denis 这个巴西的作家，我觉得蛮有趣的。I've never think about I would never gonna go to Brazil. I mean, I assume that I go to Brazil, but actually I would never think I would go to pay a visit to a slum. 我没有想过我可能会去旅行，然后特别跑去贫民窟。我在美国念书的时候，我们每次开车都要赶快从 ghettos 旁边闪开，因为我们怕被怎样。可是这本书就把这个 ghettos 里面的生活，这个 favela 也拼成 favela， 这个 favela 的意思就是 slum。那他把这个 slum 的生活的状况很清楚的展现出来给我们看。But peculiarly, it's not like just any pictures that you could find in ordinary Japanese manga. It's more like paper clippings. That's why I picked this book. I thought that it's quite exciting to see someone who could represent a slum's world in a like a shadow puppet like kind of genre. 所以你看他把当时有没有？你看他们去 ghettos， 当然一定会遇到坏人，然后发生了什么事情 ，robberies， 很清楚的画出来。然后他也不是只有 black and white， 他也会加入一些色彩，回家看到妈妈很开心。然后到最后，你看它的转变，there is all kinds of picturesque transformations. In the end, the comic narratives turns out to be a photo album. 然后最后我们看到他把那个贫民窟外围，现在跟过去都用照片的方式，这是作者跟那个 illustrators， 还有 photographers， 所以他把它整个做出来。I've never been to a slum, but after I read this book, I thought I would like to go and visit, pay maybe a look, because I think it's really, 我觉得这个比较残忍，也比较难过的地方是，其实他把它拍得很美，我一直看了很多遍，那这个 it's a terrible beauty, kind of horror。那大家可能还没有看到这个Heart of Darkness， 康拉德写的这个小说，就是在谈是人走到了那个非洲的中心，然后看到那样子的贫瘠，或者是那样的不堪的生活的心。那我觉得他有给我那个感觉，就是说 ，even if it's a terrible kind of life, but it's real and it's around us, and we are living on Earth, you know. So this is the kind of life that we should be paying attention to. 所以是很写实的，可是从写实的里头，你也看到他的那个超写实。 好的部分。那到这里，这个是我一定不要告诉你们发生什么事的一本。This is by one of the greatest master, Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. 这是一个 must read 所以如果你说哦 I love graphic novels and I've never read Watchmen, 全然ダメです，绝对不行。那为什么呢？因为这个故事很有趣，然后你们看到有很多 sexually engaged erotic scenes 所以，但是这个故事不是只有地球，这个故事 engage many different planets. I hope that you'll pay attention to this blue guy over here as our protagonist. I'm gonna keep quiet about the storyline. 它是一个很特别的故事，也是经典。那我觉得man 累死了。These are so complicated stories. And Marvel season by Gilbert is, I think, quite pleasing and quite like an elementary level kind of book. 然后这个书看完之后，我休息一下。为什么你知道吗？你看哦 ，we are already passing our like childhood, right? 我有点想不起来我小时候跟我弟打架的时候是不是这样？但是他把这个 childhood 重新再现，然后用一种很简单的方式。你看，这你也会画 ，right？ 然后他就是把他跟他弟之间想要继续读书、想要继续读图文小说的那个故事画出来，这你也会画，有没有？那个眼神，你看，所以很简单的，几乎像是一个kindergarten level or elementary level, but it shows the kind of simplicity. 我觉得它很有趣，它就是很简单，但是很可爱。那这也是其中在艺术表现上的一种可能性。不是像刚刚都是那种 monstrous， 都是那种各种媒体的结合，没有，它就是简单。我觉得如果你想要刚开始读的话，这个算是所谓的比较轻食的，就是不是牛排这样子，轻食的这一片，你看很可爱，也是就是同学之间的感觉。Now, guys, you guys are freshmen. Do we have sophomore year student here, or junior year student, or senior year student here? 有吗？我们有没有2、3、4年级？大2、大3、大4？有人大3，对不对？大3一定会问到这个问题：到底要不要盖被纯聊天 ？Blankets， 还是要盖被不聊天，就做就好？那这个 Craig Thompson 这个 graphic novel, I think it's a wonderful piece. It teaches you love, teaches you how to become a mature adult, how to be in the intimate relationship. 那 Craig Thompson 是 Michigan 人，那他画的画风我觉得还蛮有趣。你没有去过 Michigan 对不对？我们大家，但是如果去过的话，这个景是非常容易看见的。在雪地里拥吻啊，大家试过了吗 ？Have you been kissing someone in the snow when Christmas doesn't yet arrive, but you really want to have someone hugging you? I don't know about you, I do. So see, this is another insight. 你看，这是在谈很简单的两个人的关系。Two people, they find they enjoy each other's companionship. They don't want to get closer, and you know how he perceive her as a goddess, and how she really 你看他的那个线条，有没有？很简单，有一种 sketching 的感觉，比较像素描。然后他们两个交往的过程，然后他的幻想，这是他的幻想，这是他的幻想。他们怎么紧紧的拥抱在一起？那 aside from this, American comic strips or American narrative cultures, I think sometimes do not allow us to avoid racial or multicultural issues. 那我发现这一本书蛮有趣的是这个 Derek King， 大家猜他是哪一国人？韩国人嘛，Korean American。那他在美国待很久了，然后他画的这个图哦，你没办法想象，他都是在有一点点搔人家的痒，搔人家的这个痛处，让人家去想问题，去想什么是 racial discrimination， 什么是 being Korean American in America among all these Afro American and Caucasians。那你看他就画这个 interview with human， 然后 human 演进到后来变成这样，一坨，对，就是很，你知道他的幽默跟一般人不太一样，哦，他在 interview， 这个外星人在 interview human， 哦，然后呢，比如说这个主角叫做 Amo Rock Hyun， 你知道我们在美国念书的时候，我们就说这个韩国人的名字都是冲，就是这些声音。然后所以我们遇到我们韩国同学都说冲，就一直这样乱搞，然后就记不住人家叫什么名字。可是你看，他这里 here he's trying to mimic the kind of sort of self-defeated but pompous kind of identity， 自己又觉得很自卑，可是自己又觉得我应该要很放才对。所以他在对这些朋友们讲话的时候，就说他说 Asian guys are very popular now, Asian American， 然后他就说 girls goes for us， 然后结果我因为有点看不清楚，我自己把它 translate， 这我背下来。结果回家之后，你看 what is he doing？ Not really having any girlfriend or not really hanging out with anyone flirty, but he's just sitting in front of TV and pathetically reading books and watching TV. That's all. 所以其实是一个像刀一样割下去的，就是说韩裔美国人来看这个书，恐怕会不太开心，但是它又是这么的真实。那大家会不会累 ？OK 吗？现在是4:15。I'm not gonna go too far. I only want to show you this. This is a creepy house. The house that grown. What does it mean, grown? 呻吟，对不对？就是那个房子会有Gary Francis。我看这本书，我从头到尾都在做这个动作。你看 ，see， 你看它的这个 speech bubbles， 有时候连 bubbles 跟这个 speech balloon 都不见 ，balloon 都不见。When we read graphic novels, the balloon is important because it's almost like our subconscious, right? It's almost like when we see these balloons, we are trying to think, or we are trying to articulate the feelings of the characters. 所以这些 balloon 这些气球里面的这个语言，其实就是我们帮它发声。我们在阅读的时候，我们经过一个很长的一个思索的机制。那你看这个 The House That Grown， 它已经连那个 balloon 有时候都快跑出格子外，有没有看到？那种张力，你看这个人他画，因为这个 house 有点恐怖，你去看的时候你就会知道 gluttonies， 所有的7大原罪都有，贪婪啊。好吃啊、性欲啊，什么都在里面。你看这个，这真的是边看边饿，有没有？你有看到吗？这里，抱歉，有长辈在这里，我也是长辈。还有这个，你看，很 graphic， 有没有？然后女人在里面梳头发，几乎是一个 magnify 的一个状态。你看这个法书的那个尺你看这个刷牙甚至你看那个 balloon 都不见 ，balloon 本身变成了一格 ，as if you're psychotic, you become like paranoid， 好像整个疯狂，整个进入那种疯狂的世界，然后你头脑里所有的语言都爆出来，爆浆了。所以看这一本的时候，不要在这个吃饭之后会有点难过。David B's epileptic. I think this one is almost like Mesopotamia culture. 美索不达米亚，大家有没有去看过那个楔形？然后他画出来就给我那种复古，但是又很前卫的感觉。这就是我说，就是说 time is space in graphic novels， 就是好像时间会被放在那个图像跟文字中间。那这一篇里面讲的故事，大家自己去看，很复杂。我想跳到这一个。After so many different kinds of materials, ways of expressing and communicating ideas of human life and feelings and sentiments, I thought that I was kind of exhausted, and I found this one. Brecht Evans' book. It's called The Making of Nothing. So I was kind of like, what? 怎么会有书？是不是打错？怎么会这书叫做 The Making of， 然后就没有了？然后这个书就这样呈现，像一个海报一样，好漂亮的一本书。那我就很好奇 ，What the making of what? The making of 然后就看到它真的是在 making something. It's an architecture. And there are all kinds of floras and faunas around. 有很多花草树木都在它旁边。那我们看到，结果里面竟然是 watercolors, guys， 是用水彩画出来的各种各样的故事，人的故事。每一页翻过去就是一个新的故事。Every page is turned, you turn a new leaf. You see different kinds of imagining scenes of people starting from they know how to do firing. This is funny. This is like two people, they are making love, but before they make love, they started flirting with each other, horny, and all kinds of interesting pandering. 然后他就问他说 ，Well, it sounds really plausible. 你有看到他们的动作 ？Plausible 就是能够被人家信服的，能够相信的。然后他就说 ，Say plausible， 我觉得这一招大家学起来。然后结果他就说 bullshit。No, really, say it. 然后结果他也很接近他了，然后他就说 ，I've told my mom and dad that I'm staying over at Sabina's tonight. 是要骗他吗？他其实是跑到那个男的他家去，已经成功了。这一招叫什么式？各位？Nice one. 有很多不同的姿势，有没有？OK, sorry， 尬拍音啊，短谁？那这个更厉害了，大家都知道了，我就不说了。就是说 ，there are lots of making out, extremely graphic。好，对不起 ，Mark 想再看一下，Mark 的眼神。
不是吧 ？Oh my god！
再多看一下，多看一下，What's going on？ What's going on？ 好。After this kind of extremely exciting one, we come back to this one. 你看这个叫做 Any Town。Subtitle, sketch, diary。你看它的风格又完全不一样哦。那这个当然是在讲这个 town 的故事，那他用笔记本的方式来介绍。这个你也会画。I've seen many of you have drawn these pictures in your notes and reflections。我们班也有很多人其实也会画像这样。那他就把这个 Visitor's Guide， 我觉得我们应该要来出一本这个Visitor's Guide to 中心。然后是用这个方式，很可爱的。然后他有这种 faces of the midtown， 他把这里的所有人，像校长啊、某老师啊，然后所有的人玉芬啊，都这样画一张出来。然后就这样子把它这个 midtown 介绍出来。It's almost like a manual， 像手册一样。 快要接近最后哦，我想我要谈的是这个东西。Graphic novels somehow urges you to go beyond reality. This is from Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. 你们都知道，《爱丽丝梦游仙境》是我第一本看学英文的时候的这个小说。我13岁才学英文，但是那时候我们老师给我们看这个，可是这一本叫做《Alice in Wonderland and Entertainment》啊，就是番外篇喽，真的是番外篇然后他这里就有一个 quote 他说 "We need nonsense too." 我真的希望我们在学东西的时候，我们也要去想我们的这个范围有多远他说 "Drifting into a world of fantasy is not an escape from reality, but a significant education about the nature of life." 那有时候等到你们到老师这个年纪，就会发现 there are so many different kinds of ridiculous things that can take place in your life. Okay, forget about those ridiculous events. 但是这里那些 events and reality is not an escape from nonsense. One education goes on everywhere. 也就是说，他从《爱丽丝梦游仙境》这个故事里面抽取出来，这也是 Brian Taball 他写的书他把所有他可以找到的元素，像剪贴本一样贴进这一本里面，然后自己制造出一个新的 Alice in Wonderland。我觉得这是我们班可以做的东西。每一个人都可以做一本 Alice in Wonderland 之类的。然后他就真的把这个 Wonderland 就是他就真的把这个 Lewis Carroll 的生平贴在里面，然后他把英国曾经发生过的故事，包括 Harry Potter's 什么 Newcastle 有什么人，然后全都把它像 Dracula 贴进去那个地址，他就用贴的然后你看这个是很有名的一个角色，就是 Humpty Dumpty， 大家还记得吗？就是那个蛋在那个 wall 上面，然后他不是在那边说 Humpty Dumpty by the wall， 记得那个 nursery 嘛他就是用剪贴，这全部都是用剪贴的，把 Alice in Wonderland 的故事用他的方式重说一次。那我想我们来复习一下这个是 Humpty Dumpty 他曾经说的话，他说 "When I use a word, it means just what I choose it to mean." 因为 Humpty Dumpty 他自己喜欢乱造字，Neither more nor less. The question we continue a scant breath or so later. 他说 "The question is which is to be mastered." That's all. 那所以其实我想要用这一句来问大家，也是请大家去思考说，其实，在用一个字的时候，跟用一个词的时候，然后把图跟文字结合的时候 ，the meaning is totally changed. You will become somehow the person that could engage with the semantics and syntactic systems of that language. 那这个书你看，它很像那个剧场的那个 program。就是你去看一个表演的时候，中场也会有休息，他也中场休息。所以这个书不只是一本书，它甚至是一个 theater. There is an intermission in the middle of it. 然后之后他就继续再讲各式各样的伟人发生的各式各样的故事 ，adventures， 还有这个 poker game 所弄出来的一个 poker tower 的这个故事。那这个刚刚有谈过，就是那个 he believe， 我们也不可能去 Jerusalem， 但是这个 Jerusalem， 你看他画的非常的仔细，你们有看到这一点吗？台湾在哪里 ？Where's Taiwan？ 在这里 ，right？ Jerusalem 其实跟我们并不远。Where's Jakarta？ Jakarta is right there。这是 Kevin 他家，这是黄金三角。我们班有一个从印尼来的同学，所以我都会提醒大家 Jakarta is here, Jerusalem is here. It's really not far away. England is here, and New York is here. 那原来就在这里，他把它画得很清楚。各位 ，After I read this book, I learned something very serious, not simply just Jewish culture or Christianity, but also the Palestinian non-weapon site, and also there is a very special site where it's outside of Jerusalem that they hide people who had certain kind of disease. 那你去看的时候，还有这个 massacre 的位置，大屠杀的位置，它都画得很仔细，几乎就像是一本 tour guide 一样。那this is English American graphic novels, but I noticed that there are many French writers whose work has been translated into English. In our book exhibition, you'll find this book called Kiki de Montparnasse. 这个 Kiki 的故事啊，你看她的身体被画成一个像大提琴一样的身体。那这个故事很性感，因为它是一个从头到尾都一直不断的在思考女生的身体要怎么被运用出来。好，那这个是 most of the hero genre, such as Superman, Spider-Man, or if you see R. Speakman's Mouse. 像这个是很有名的，我们外面也有，这是我自己的书哦，版本跟学校买的不一样，我的是分成1、2版哦，这个是很有名的 R. Speakman 写的书，那谈的就是 Holocaust， 好，就是这个大屠杀，但是呢，这个犹太人大屠杀的这个故事，然后把这个经历过 trauma 的历史再回忆出来。哦，这样的故事，那男人在写故事好像都在谈 trauma， 都在谈 history， 都在谈 battlefield、blood、heroes 这些。可是你看这个故事，它就不一样，它就是在谈女性在追求自我的时候 ，what is she thinking about? And she needs to experience lots of different kinds of sexual harassment, being exploited. Unable to achieve her dreams, and eventually she did. And what happened to her? 所以她把它变成一个蒙本纳斯这个法国这个特别这个区很艺术性的这样的一个特别的模特儿。那她的工作是什么呢 ？Naked models. She shows her body. 所以这故事从你看，它是一个 chronicles， 它是一个世纪那样子，世代记那样子的画法。从1910年他发生什么事，一直到1953年，把他的一生告诉你，然后画的内容，那时候的艺术家跟他有关系，他会在里面插一页，然后再介绍，然后把他当时怎么样，被人家选成人体模特儿，那个 too skinny， too short， 我看我大概就是像这位。那你看里面有很多这个 sexual intercourse 啊，不只是 heterosexual， 还有 homosexual， 甚至各式各样的多元的性别的思索，对人的身体跟主体性的想法。所以你看到有各式各样在他要成长的过程里面发生的事情。那我觉得 I think this talk pretty much wanted to encourage you to not simply to read, but perhaps to become a graphic novelist or a graphic narrator. 那这是我有一天在准备这个演讲的时候，我旁边的小妹妹送给我的她画的，她叫林小雨 Elsa。这是上次我们去 Mobius Strip， 大家记得吗？上次我们邀请那个 Mobius Strip Theater， they come and they use paintings by 李霄亨老师。他的画都是禅风，然后他把它放到他的这个剧场里面来做表演。也就是说 ，graphic painting theater is already in existence。这是画作剧场，是现在我们大家也都在使用。那，我最后要推荐这一本。This is probably the second thinnest one among the 40 books out there. 第一本是刚刚那个 gag cartoon， 那第二本比较薄的是 Ghost World。Why do I want to highlight this one? As almost we are approaching the end of my talk, is because it talks about your story, but in different time space in the probably the 60s in the States. It talks about two young teenage girls. They almost gonna finish the last summer in high school, and then they're gonna go spring into their own life, and what happened between them. 那这个书有很多的 four-letter words, extremely ferocious. They have all kinds of experiments with, American high schools experimenting with their bodies, their sexual fantasies, their relationship with people. 那过程里面，他们有各式各样的那种想要去看 pornography， 女生想要进去看色情录影带店里面的东西，可是没办法去，只好拜托男同学说：“拜托啦，你带我进去好吗？”这样的情节，那有那种 self discovery 这样子的一种过程，然后你看到她不断的在这两个女孩子，她不断的透过改变造型 ，cross dressing， they cut their hair in different styles, they try to do experiments with friends. They are not quite sure who they are, but they are really trying to hang out with each other and becoming good friends with each other. 然后这个故事中间虽然有很多法，可是到后来就写消音，然后来忘记自动下，但是后来他就说，你看他们到后来有一个很深刻的对话，他说 ，That's because you don't utterly lose yourself。你知道这个女生因为她是青少女，然后她很想要去做某些事，她要干一些大，可是她没办法，于是她就买一部车。那在美国16岁就可以买车。But what did she buy? She bought a hearse. 她买了一部灵车来当她的专用车。我就是要搞怪就对了。然后她就说，因为你一点都没有办法，你一点都不讨厌你自己 ，self-love 已经到憎恨的地步。那她改变了各种造型之后，她发现她必须接受她自己，所以到最后，那个故事是蛮温馨的。那这个我就不谈了，因为这个故事 it's so complicated. It's about I think aside from Japanese manga, American comic strips, British cartoons, there's all kinds of things that have been introduced. Sita's Ramayana is a Hindu Indian epic. 那如果你去印度旅行之前，你一定要读这一本Ramayana。那这个史诗里面呢，有一个角色叫 Sita。这个 Sita is the goddess of fertility。那所以这个 Sita 的故事很复杂。因为为什么？因为他们家人很多。要用图表来显示。他有那个坏的 villain 的 god， 也有好的 god， 很复杂。这本书已经看了大概看了3个多月，还是看不懂。然后你就知道去印度之前要做的准备很多，那家人很多。但因为他经过很多情节，got married, got abandoned, got robbed, and then got raped, and then there are all kinds of stories involved. And then finally, 我只要大家记住这个，就是 she is the personification of Earth's fertility, abundance, and well-being. 那等你去印度旅行的时候，这个史诗它会回来，那你对这个 Hinduism 会有比较多的了解。上个月我们来比较看看，快结束。上个月，这个 Illustration 这个杂志展出日本这个几位这个绘本的老师他们的作品，我觉得跟刚刚我们看的就完全不一样。Do you realize that？ 这个猫咪现在很好，这是 Hikuji Yoko Sensei 你看它那个猫抱着猫，可愛いですね。那没有时间，我跳过去，这个我刚刚看过，这是我用的一些资料，给大家看一下。其实我们自己也有本土的，就是在这次的 March 18th, our sunflower movement. We have a collection of graphic, not novels, but graphic narratives. 我觉得大家可能可以看一下，就是这个盛开的向日葵，大家记得这个吗？这个这是他们台湾的这个很多人一起做的展览。那在看这些东西的时候，两本我没有说的 ，there are two books that I didn't mention. They are graphic women's works that addresses the issue of how Iranian women faces certain kind of problems on daily basis throughout their growing up experiences. 这本很重要，这是经典这是 Satrapi's Chrysopolis 就在外面。那其实是有 YouTube 的，大家回去可以看一下。我会把这个给图书馆，大家 click 就会看到。它是中法文，因为伊朗曾经被这个殖民过，所以它有这个中法翻译。那这个 Alison Bechdel 也是 another women's graphic novels classic called Funhouse。那这个 Funhouse 的这个作者 Alison， 她是一个出柜的女同志。那她在里头，这里有一段访谈这个 click 下去会看到。我们现在没时间，我就不说。那她有谈到，她认为 it's really very hard to be herself. And like I said in class, that personal can be political, political can be personal. So in Funhouse, she transformed her experience as a lesbian into a very special genre. I hope we don't have this book yet. Maybe in the future we'll purchase it. 这是2006年的，在讨论这个不一样的性别的这样的一个思索。那我来总结一下，也就是说 ，graphic novels throughout so many years, starting from late 19th century, end of 19th century, fin the scene, all the way till today. We see lots of self-representations, such as autobiographies, self-build-on roman, like 成长小说一类的。我们也看到很多 against valorizations of absence and aporia， 有很多作者不断的在谈，不希望自己的声音消失。然后也有很多作者，像刚刚这个 Mouse 跟 Meta Mouse， 它有三部曲，it's a trilogy。Mouse 1 and 2 and Meta Mouse。那这三部曲一直在谈的就是 revisit trauma, Holocaust, theorizing trauma in connection to visual， 怎么样用视觉的方式把过去历史给我们的一些梦魇召唤回来，再思索。还有比如说 hybridity， 这种杂混这样子一个问题。还有 elliptical forms， 就是我刚刚一直不断强调的。ellipsis 是这种哒哒哒哒哒哒，也就是说，有时候讲话讲到一半会有停顿的地方，可是那些地方其实，在 graphic novel 里面 ，they are combined and shrink or compressed into a balloon or several balloons in a narrative breakdown. 那最后就是 revisit particular times, spaces, histories. 那我想大概就是在这里，我给他这个结束，就是我希望他 graphic novels will be like SARS, and that it will be spreading together, but not disease, but something that's tender and that is readable, and so that eventually it will be bloom. 那我们就要回到我的问题了，55504140922这个问题。也就是说，其实我就是在讲说，这个55其实也不是我啦，是我在看这些书打开的时候，就会一直这样，两只手打开5嘛，就是哇。然后呢，041409爱 ，thank you， 谁讲的？哦 ，Lucy，thank you，Levy goes to you。好，那我就讲到这里。
非常谢谢郭老师，我也 也享受了一个很不一样的阅读经验哈。I have to admit that I'm not a big fan of the comic book or graphic novel. The only one I remember is by Asombe from France. Yeah. 所以对我来讲很有趣啊。那我想我觉得我们蛮幸运的，可以至少对我来讲，我觉得很幸运有机会来听这一场这个演讲，真的很不一样，因为我们一直在推动阅读这件事情，但是过去都是比较主攻在文字上面，实际上视觉上它其实可以告诉我们更多不一样的东西。好，那我觉得各位同学也很幸运，好可以这个上吴老师的课。那我想我们再一次掌声，谢谢吴老师。